Hello everyone, welcome to Chess Roads. This is my first video. I've never made a chess video before. But with all the mayhem and chaos going on in the chess world, I've been excited. From 4,000 rated computers to 11-year-old grandmasters to GMs running off to the toilet to cheat on telephone. I'm in a state of shock compared to the old days when things were raw and organic. Playing with guys like Steve Brandywine, Asa Hoffman, Jay Bonin, legends, Fedorowicz, Joel Benjamin, Carmen Shirazi, even Ulf Anderson, tons of games with Mikhail Gorovich. It seemed like chess was a much more romantic place. So we're going to try to bring back uh, a little bit more sensitive flavor to the chess world. Everything's sped up, and chess got more popular because of it, but it also lost some of its original juice, which is where you would think for 10 hours and you could get really deep and actually solve problems at the board. Now it's like a sport. So I hadn't played chess in 1,000 years, and I went off to Spain, and I got paired with this kid who was blitzing me because I'm typical American donk. He figures I'm just, I look stupid, and he's just going to roll me up. So here's how it went down. We started with d4. We got this funky, this kid playing, usually e4 is the book move, and I wanted to play something a little offbeat. You got to take the kids out of book these days. There's no reason why I should ever enter book lines with children. So bishop d6 is strange, and then he went for a Dutch. I thought the setup is pretty good. And here, actually, this seems to be a little odd, because my understanding in Dutch is if you go CD, they have to be able to play ED, or else they just get a bad structure with this weakness on E6 permanently. And so I took here, and he has to take this way, or else F5 is hanging. And now perhaps I should just play knight B5, because he has to go BB4 check and bishop D2, and we trade these off, and then we get knight F3, and we just have a bad Dutch. He's got permanent weakness on E5. This isn't what Dutch players want. It's true because there are some lines in the Dutch where white actually goes nuts with B3 and A4 and doing everything humanly possible to trade these dark bishops. But here I just get it for free. So it's probably like Karpov or Magnus would go for this and then torture their opponent for 1,000 moves until they make a mistake. But me, I'm a street player, so I just decided to go for typical standard E4 break. And it makes a lot of sense because this battery is pretty powerful. He's still going to have the weakness on E6. And we're going to castle, and we're going to get E4 in. I want to play this move because the knight on C3 is important, right, if I'm going for E4. So knight F4, of course, if he takes this thing, he's just going to get roasted on the E file. So he played here, and now he had a long think, because you have to calculate E4. And upon this calculation, I stumbled on some nasty tricks. And I figured that the game was just over. So you can stop your video, you can chill out, and try to find not one, but two filthy tricks in the position. Okay, you had a little time. Now I'll just explain. So E4, right? I wish I had arrows, but we don't have the technology yet. We'll get it in future videos. E4 is going to take. I take FE, DE. Knight takes E4. Rook C8 is natural. I'm going to go knight takes F6, and knight takes F6 seems logical. Queen B3, double, angle down on the E6 weakness, and he's going to play the most natural move there, knight D5. And when I was thinking about this knight D5, it looks incredibly strong. Like I'm going to resign, because if I play knight takes D5, he goes BD5. I only have one box, queen D1, and queen H4 is lights out. He's threatening H2, and he's also threatening queen takes D4 check and gobble my loose bishop on D3. I'm just going to be, I'm cooked. Not only that, I can't play G3 to defend the mate, because you can go bishop takes G3. HG3, queen G3 is actually mate. The bishop on B7 is open. So I'm fantasizing about this, and I said, well, knight d5. But there's a problem with knight d5. h7 is hanging. Now you'll notice that all these guys on the third rank, they're not there anymore. And you're going to see what's going to happen. I knew he was going to fall for it too. As soon as I saw it, I said, the game is over. That's the poker angle. Some of you remember me from the poker world, some from the chess world, mostly poker. And we got sidetracked from our passion. We had to go off into the matrix and, not be broke anymore. So knight takes, knight d5, and bishop h7. It becomes a miniature because now the queen slides over and knight g6. And we're threatening mate and the queen on e7. And by, just from inertia, he continued a little bit, but it's gone. So that was kind of a good combination. The second part of this is that if he had played bishop d5, difficult move to spot. Nobody wants to part with this bishop because it's angling down at the guy's king, right? I'm the villain in this case, so he's coming for me. Nobody wants to part with that bishop. But it is strong because I have to take it, and he takes with the knight. And now he's still threatening his queen h4 business. I would have to find double exclaim g3. And it's funny how chess has these mirror patterns. So that, remember, I broke through with the bishop h7. And in this situation, with his bishop gone from b7, he has nasty queen a7, right? Takes, his knight's on d5. And g3, I can play g3 because they don't have light square bishop anymore. And queen a7, and my d-pawn is loose. And then in that position, I have nasty tactical defense. Bishop e3, hanging this bishop on e3 for free, but it's not. I have zigzag defense. Queen takes e6 check because queen is over on a7, and queen takes back on e3. And when I saw this, I had to go for it. So this is kind of a nice way to start playing chess again, that I came back and got this miniature in. And then I played Dasein GM elect in the next round, and I want to do some g6 Spanish business because I saw he was a Ruy Lopez man, and I won that game too. So if I continue to do this kind of thing, I'll show that game next, and then we'll talk about ICC in the old days. I was like 2807 on ICC, and a little bit about me. I was a senior master for a while, and then we were gambling all night. I think a lot of the guys from New York did multiple things like pool rooms, racetrack, backgammon, and maybe I could tell some stories about the clubs and the club scene back then. But welcome to Chess Roads. Have a great day.